couple of openings, it looks like, there in the clouds that could provide folks with some views. So it's not a complete washout. It's not a complete cloud cover, but we know some of you right now are going to be relying on this live stream, and that's why we're going to be with you until 12:30 a.m. If you're joining us right now on WCNC Plus, in the next few moments, you're going to get ready to join the 11 o'clock news from...
As our look moon like this because normally the moon is reflected sunlight, so it would overexpose everything. There's no way I could ever get these in. So this is a unique shot as a photographer that you can take some stars in the same frame as the moon because the moon isn't going to blow out your shot like it normally does. And another cool thing is if there was a meteor shower that peaked this morning that was kind of a ended up being weaker than expected. But a night like tonight would be really cool if there was a meteor shower as well, because the moon going dim like this would allow for many more meteors to be seen instead of being washed out by that full moon.
Let me check.
Scotty Powell, I'm going to leave this shot up from Charlotte, but I know you stepped outside in Morganton in the foothills of the mountains of western North Carolina. What are conditions like there?
I mean, you couldn't ask for better conditions here. No clouds at all. All you see is a red moon and a bunch of stars. So temperature about 72, 73 degrees. So if you live in Burke County, McDowell County, Caldwell County, up into portions of Buncombe County, it's spectacular viewing. Go out there right now and take a look, because you couldn't ask for better sky conditions. We really lucked out. So if you live in Morganton, you check our Twitter page. I just stepped out and took about 3 or 4 shots. You can check them out there, but spectacular viewing conditions right now in the foothills. Perfect temperature, perfect view of the sky, no clouds to be found. So hopefully if you're in this area, you can get out and look at them.
At Carolina WX Group is Carolina Weather Group, and Scotty Powell there on Twitter. We got at WCNC, at WFNY, and you can certainly send those shots in, and we appreciate all of these groups coming together tonight so we can get all of these perspectives, because we know some of you right now are continuing to battle the clouds. Chris Jackson providing this view. Chris has made himself a little tinier in the corner. I don't know if it made his voice go up when he made himself tinier, but I think he was trying to give room for the moon.
Hey, Brad, I think I'm seeing those same 2 stars you're talking about. One really close to the south side, I guess the far lower side of the moon, and then one off to the left side.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's rare that you can shoot the moon and actually see those. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very beautiful image coming.
I'm going to try to figure out what those stars are. So if anybody out there knows, send us a note.
Scotty, Jared, you guys are watching the live chats of WCNC, WFMY, and Carolina Weather Group. So if anybody knows the stars,
and this is amazing because
let us know.
I will say this: there's some reports now in Greenville, South Carolina, folks being able to see it. We had some storms there earlier. I would say about an hour or so ago. So skies are clearing out there in Greenville. So if you're listening from Greenville, get outside and take a look up. You should be able to see it. Just saw a few pictures come in on Twitter. So good news there.
Get some of those pictures in just a few moments, but since we've got these cameras with these gorgeous views, we're looking right now in Charlotte, North Carolina, from Brad Panovich's location here, as Brad is going to move the camera. And what's happening is Brad has his camera on a tripod because, unlike a telescope, which would slowly move with its mechanics, every one of our human photographers are having to move, but we're so zoomed in that just the slightest of movement really magnifies that jump.
Yeah, that would be my dream purchase, is to have a device to track a sky tracker with my tripod, and then you could do time lapses of like the Milky Way and stuff. It would be really cool. And you could do deep space photography because you could have these long exposures and not have the rotation of the Earth kind of give you star trails. But yeah, so every time we move the camera, it's kind of jumpy because I am zoomed in at 300 millimeters with the lens, and then another 6-time digital zoom. So it's pretty tight. And so any sudden movement looks really dramatic on screen. But you can see those 2 stars. I was kind of looking at my star chart, and I think one is Lib, but I'm not sure. 2 stars that I'm not really familiar with near the moon, but it is really cool that you can see those. So those aren't dots on your screen. Those aren't artifacts. Those are actually stars that are just happen to be very close to the moon that you normally probably couldn't see, because the moon would be so bright it would totally wash out those stars and you wouldn't see them. So it's getting redder, guys. The amazing thing is we get closer to the totality at 12:11 a.m. You see how deeper red. It's almost becoming kind of maroonish, especially on the left side of the moon, and the red has made it all the way to the right, and it's less of that kind of chalky white that the moon normally is.
Going to pop on over here real fast to the NASA TV feed and show everybody what that looks like as they are using their technology to track tonight's lunar eclipse, which is underway. It's going to peak at about 12:11 a.m., which is about 21 minutes from now. And we're going to stay with you here across our multitude of platforms until 12:30 a.m., which is about 40 minutes from now. Jared, Scotty, I know you guys have been watching the chat. Anybody have any guesses on what those stars are?
I haven't seen any guesses, so nobody knows.
So Natasha Brown on YouTube, some dude, okay, so reliable source, named the stars on Twitter something like HR 5762 and HR 5756. So either they are stars or pieces of legislation originating in the House of Representatives.
Oh, can we name them still? Are they still up for adoption?
Apparently so. But again,
James, I was just going to say real quick here in South Charlotte, I don't know if you saw it on the Dallas cam, but I think I just saw some lightning off in the distance here.
Oh, let me go to the Dallas cam here real fast.
I have to check the radar, but I just saw a flash coming from the northwest, and that's where those storms were. So
here's a look at the Dallas, North Carolina camera that is in the northwest of Charlotte, and we'll go ahead. I'm going to get a radar scope pulled up here, which will be able to show people where some of that lightning is and show you exactly what Brad is referring to. Stand by here for another moment. You're looking at that tower cam right now.
I'm guessing it was cloud to cloud because I'm not seeing any cloud to ground strikes on my radar or on my Tempest weather station, but it might have been a cloud to. Yeah,
probably out here someplace.
Now Ron.
Yep, I'm thinking that's where it came from.
That
yeah,
clouds
that tower cam is going to be right in here.
Also there.
Here's Charlotte. I won't circle Brad's backyard.
And
it's over
share
here.
now an image from Fernando, Arizona.
Let's go back out here to the moon in Brad's backyard and show people that. Is it getting redder, or is it just the camera, Brad?
It's getting redder because if you think about what's happening, near totality, you're going to get the most vivid red ring of those sunrises and sunsets. So it's getting more uniform projection of that red. So it should be completely red at 12:11. And what you should notice is, you notice how to the right of the moon there, it looks a little bit fainter and it looks more maroonish to the left. We should see that process
Here
reverse after it goes past totality. And you should start to see the left side brightening up and the darker reds go to the right. And that's just because if you think about it, I mean, it's hard to grasp, but if you're on the moon looking back at the earth right now, you would see a bright red ring of sunrises and sunsets coming from the edge of the earth, because the sunlight, while it's being blocked by the earth and we're in that shadow, some of that light is being bent or refracted through the earth's atmosphere, and you're getting a ring of sunrises and sunsets showing up on the moon and reflecting back on it. And I'm about to get, it looks like, some high clouds here in a minute, so I'm going to move the camera again, because I think in probably about another minute or two we're going to get some looks like some strato Q coming in to kind of obscure our view. So if you're in South Charlotte, get out there now. This might be your last chance for a while.
I feel like I should run out the door. Here's the view from Arizona via NASA TV right now, and you can see that they are getting that blood moon again. 12:11 a.m. Eastern time. Eastern time is when this will peak, and that is now about 16 minutes away. We've got Brad Panovich, chief meteorologist at WCNC in Charlotte, with us and has been with us most of the night. We're waiting to hear whether or not Tim Buckley, the chief meteorologist at WFMY, he's heading down the road from his home, where he's also battling some of these clouds that you can see on our sky cam here from the Charlotte area. But let's pop the radar up real fast and show you we do have those lines of storms right now, at least here in the Charlotte area, coming through the Gaston County area, coming through Clover as you make your way into York County.
Nice
so these
image.
are going to be flirting here with Mecklenburg County in the next little bit. I don't know if Jared, who is running our radar, has the ability to turn clouds back on. Right now we're just looking at the rain, but as Brad was just mentioning, there's also a cloud deck associated with this that's going to be coming into portions of Mecklenburg County in the next little bit. There's the view right there, so you can see all along a lot of the I-77 corridor up to the Triad and maybe into the Triangle for Raleigh. We've got clouds moving through as well. Let's go back out to the moon. Thank you, Jared, for that.
Another very beautiful
and
image.
show you here from Columbia, South Carolina. And this is the
From,
view courtesy
John
of Chris
Johnson.
Jackson. Chris, have you had to do anything from a photography standpoint to really try to capture the coloring?
So happy that these
Not
great
so much. Just making sure my color balance is right from the get-go. And as long as you don't blow the exposure out,
had,
you know,
reasonably
with your
good
settings and
skies,
stuff, it should maintain a
so
good
that we
color.
could
Like I'm
enjoy
just looking
the
between mine and
images.
Brad's, and I think we're pretty close. I think my picture might be just a little bit brighter, but it looks like he's trying to readjust his camera. But it looks pretty close. I mean, the biggest thing is, you know, using your naked eye to look up at the moon and then comparing to what you're getting on your camera. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do, but it does take a little bit of work sometimes, just getting that color balance
so
right.
beautiful.
But once it's there, you kind of have to set it and forget it.
We're going to continue these views here until about 12:30 a.m.
beautiful.
Eastern time.
This
As
is
we
live.
know, you
This
guys
live
are going to want to
feed, live
continue
view
to
from
watch
Nebraska,
this. It will
thanks
peak
to
at
our
about
collaborator,
12:11.
John Johnson.
Scotty Powell is looking right now at what you guys are tweeting at Carolina WX Group, at WCNC, at WFMY. We'll be getting over to some of your pictures here in a moment, but we know so many of you have shown up because maybe you have too many clouds outside or you have rain outside where you are right now. Here's the look from Brad Panovich. He's readjusting, which is totally fine. We're talking about how the photographers tonight are having to reposition their view in order to keep the moon in orbit, in frame. As we go on through the evening hours, we see one star, maybe the second mysterious star still around, if any of those astronomy nerds out there can name them for us.
Well, what I was watching, guys, that star that was towards the bottom actually is now behind the moon. So it's actually was moving. So it was kind of interesting. It got really close to the edge there and disappeared, but we could still see that other star off to the left there. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see those stars in the frame. And I'm like Chris. Chris has got a really good shot. I'm having more difficult time now that it's getting darker, but I'm also getting some clouds. You might see those high clouds now going in front, so it's obscuring the view. And those are the clouds I was talking about, James, that are coming in. And I think this might be starting to obscure the view a little bit. So you're seeing a mix of some clouds and the eclipse here. It's not just the eclipse. So those dark shadows, those are actually clouds moving across in front of it now.
Yep, here's Brad's view, and we got those clouds moving into Mecklenburg County. The good news is, if there is a silver lining, is that you got to see most of the show.
Yep. I mean, it was a good view, and I got pretty close to totality. So I'm pretty happy. Hopefully, I get another break here. I was hoping to get a good view all the way through totality. But that's the thing. If you didn't see the front side of this, and I know there's some rain over in Gaston and Cleveland County, I know you may not want to stay up late, but you might be able to see on the back side of those storms. It sounded like that's what Scotty was seeing, is on the back side of that line. It does look like it clears out again. So there might be some luck on the tail end of this if that continues pushing off to the east. But yeah, you can really see on my shot the clouds are getting thicker. We're kind of losing the shot here a little bit.
We'll pop a wider view of radar up. You can see that rain activity along the I-85 corridor coming out of South Carolina into portions of North Carolina. But I really wanted to check, for my own selfish reasons, is whether or not Chris Jackson in Columbia, South Carolina is going to be able to hold out until 12:30 or not with us. The weather might cooperate, but is Chris Jackson himself going to be able to keep his eyes open? I hope so. Chris, what's the show like there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still pretty nice here. There's storms that were in western Lexington County just a little while ago. They're starting to dissipate now. And there was a little storm up near northern Richland County along I-77 in Blythewood. It's also starting to dissipate. I'm sure there's going to be some convective debris left over from that's going to obscure my view here shortly. Hopefully it won't take 10, 15 minutes to blow by here, but for now, fingers crossed that the view holds.
Yeah, we'll pop the radar back up here again as we're watching a few of those isolated storms moving on through. And we are now coming to the start of a new day here on the East Coast. I'm James Brierton in Charlotte. We are 11 minutes out from peak totality of tonight's total blood moon lunar eclipse. Whether you're streaming us on the Carolina Weather Group, WCNC, WFMY, we welcome you in, and we welcome in all those viewers who are joining us after watching NASA TV. We're going to stay with you here a little bit longer, another half an hour or so, as we continue to look at the gorgeous pictures that Chris Jackson here in Columbia, South Carolina is able to provide for us, and Brad Panovich, Chief Meteorologist at WCNC in Charlotte, is working on trying to maintain a shot, but I think he's maybe in a losing battle with the clouds.
Yeah, we lost the moon. We lost, like, we in NASCAR you lose the track. We
Look,
lost
this
the
is
moon
another
to
image
the
from Florida,
clouds right
this
now.
time
So we're waiting
from
for another
Gary
clear spot.
Barney.
But yeah, these are pretty thick clouds, James, coming in. This might be it for a while down here. This is the thickest batch of clouds I've seen since about when we started at 10:30. Not nearly as broken as earlier. This is more of a almost a stratiform looking, and I think it's those storms coming in from the west. They're kind of kicking some clouds out ahead of it. So this might be it for me tonight. I don't know. I got to keep an eye. I'm going to wait it out a little bit, but we had a good view for a while there. But I think in South Charlotte we lost it everything.
Yeah, there might be a slight break. If we can trust what the radar is able to pick up tonight, there might be a slight break for you coming across the lake right now before the storms actually move on through. We'll wait to see. Maybe I'm just wish casting.
Yeah, I can't see with the naked eye at all now. So it's really, and you know, now that it's the eclipse, it's actually hard to pick up. Even with the clouds before, you kind of tell where the moon was because there was this bright area of the sky behind the clouds. But now, because it's a blood moon, you can't even see that. So it's even hard to figure out where the moon is right now.
Yeah, just to show people how dark it is, that is Brad Panovich's face cam on the top left. We swear his face is in there someplace. Chris
Hey, James,
Jackson.
I wanted to jump in here with Brad real quick. I was just checking the Gastonia METAR up in Gaston County, and they just went scattered 3,800 and overcast 5,500.
I think I just
Yeah.
caught another lightning bolt out of the corner of my eye on the
There's
top.
a lot of lightning in the Dallas cam now. So
Bummer.
I'm sure as soon as I switch away from the Dallas cam, we'll get the lightning again. Or I guess what I could do is I could pin it, couldn't I?
Yeah, that's I've seen a couple flashes here off in the distance, just
Formally, we are
reflecting off
approaching
the
the
low
center of
cloud deck
totality.
coming in. So, but it's weird. I haven't seen a lot of cloud to ground strikes showing up on the network. I'm going to check my Tempest here to see if I'm getting anything.
just
Oh, I
checking
did. I
for
just got a
images,
strike here on my
masterpieces
Tempest
coming from
at about 20 miles out. So that's the first of my lightning detector that I've seen. That was 2 minutes ago. So we definitely had a cloud to ground strike somewhere.
In Canada.
Oh, yep,
He
I
said
just got it
that,
on
clouds
radar
are
scope.
there
I can
as
actually
well,
then
and
show it to people.
you
It just
like
popped up
the
here
bird
as well.
sounds. Yes,
And the
quite a
lightning
lot
strike
here,
that we're talking about
Bill
from the
and
Dallas
friends,
camera was
and
probably right
because
on it
there
here
are
in South
trees
Gastonia.
just
That Dallas camera is
a few meters
here,
away,
looking
and,
back off to the
you know,
south.
in
and
the
then we've got
morning,
Charlotte
they are
off
just
to the
waking up.
east.
While
Yep.
we still have
Yeah,
to
I
go
see
to
it too.
sleep
That was the
because
one.
considering the
That should have been
timing
really
in
close to
Italy
the
for
camera,
eclipse,
actually.
I
So
decided
I
not
bet
to
the
go
sky
to
did
sleep
light up pretty good.
just to be
Well, now that I've pinned the Dallas Tower camera, I'm sure
alive
I've
enough
jinxed it.
to handle
Yeah.
this task.
Oh yeah,
But
I'm getting
unfortunately,
some
the
thick
last
clouds
the
now.
last part of the
But there are a few breaks here and there. And I was really
last
hoping
part of the
totality
fix
would at
from
least give me a
Italy
break.
went lost because
I'm
of
glad
the
Chris has
clouds.
got a good shot. He's got a pretty good shot still down there in Columbia.
New image
Yeah, you
now
look at that.
from,
It looks like a
ground
big,
from
That
Nebraska.
was another lightning strike.
Yeah, that's definitely got an anvil to it. So there's definitely some Sears blow off there. Looking at the radar and satellite, and look at that thing. It is clear behind it, and then it looks like it's clear down by you,
Very nice
James and
images.
Matthews. But
Yeah.
that cloud, that little shield of clouds over 77, that's what just got to me right there.
Yeah, so maybe it'll time out. There's a little bit of a break,
Yeah,
not full break. We'll see here in
I
the next.
hope I don't get rained on either. I got a lot of equipment out here. That's I'll be moving,
Now-
be running for the patio here in a second.
How fast does it take Brad to break down all of his equipment? We'll find out. Chris Jackson, how's your equipment? Are you going to be able to hold out for us there in Columbia?
Oh, we're golden. I feel pretty good about it. As long as we can just keep from some of that convective debris off from the west from moving right over the top of the house here, I think we'll be great here. Still holding the shot good. I really don't know because I probably have I don't know how much time I have left because I have a huge peak entry. Like I have two peak entries, one in the front yard, one in the backyard. And like the moon shot the gap. And I know I'm getting to the right side here. At some point, I'm gonna have to like get up and fight with the squirrels to get a shot again.
Perfettamente.
Chris is going to battle the squirrels, and Brad's going to battle the deer.
Deer.
Well, if you can hold out, if you can just tell that tree to hold out 10 more minutes.
Yeah, the deer
Brad, I
freak.
was
I
looking
just
at the
went totally
Charlotte.
virtual, so
Yeah, Brad, looking at the Charlotte terminal dock, is that like a little outflow boundary set up east of Lake Norman along 77?
yeah, I think it is because I think we saw a little shelf cloud on that Dallas cam when that was coming in, so it clearly was some kind of outflow, and I think that's what was kicking off some of the lightning earlier. But yeah, it stretches down there through basically from Mooresville down to here. think that's what's kicked off this whole storm, was some kind of outflow boundary from earlier today. We got pretty lucky. We got lucky. I mean, this is what I talked about earlier today, guys. Like, you know, yeah, I know a lot of folks that clouded over, and even here I'm clouded over, but I still got a chance to see it. And there's probably still a chance tonight before this thing goes away that you got a chance. It's just a matter of you want to stay up for it or not.
Well, we're going to hopefully stay up for a few more minutes here. We're planning to try to continue our coverage until 12:30. We are also looking for your pictures, so you can tweet those to at Carolina WX Group, at WX Brad, at WCNC, at WFMY, and we've got Scotty Powell who's going through them. He's retweeting them, and then he's checking all those accounts for mentions, and we're going to go to him in a few minutes, maybe when the moon disappears behind the pecan tree in Columbia, to take a look at what you at home are seeing and generating. So we do appreciate you sending that in. There's another lightning strike for you in the top left from Dallas, North Carolina, just north of Gastonia there on your radar, across the greater Charlotte area. This thunderstorm rolling on through here tonight, obscuring the view of the eclipse for portions of Gaston County, York County, and Mecklenburg County. Brad, as we are now 5 minutes out from the peak of tonight's event, are you getting any break from the clouds?
I'm not, and I saw that lightning strike as well. I've had 2 now detected here. The clouds are moving pretty good. I'm looking up, the cloud cover is picked up some pace, so it looks like outflow coming from that storm has reached me already. I do see some breaks trying to develop. They're not huge, but again, I just want a second or two that I can see this thing right at totality. So I'm hoping they're going to get a break here. I widened my shot out a litle bit. I'm widening it out, and it's going to be hard to pick up, but hopefully it'll show itself here right at totality, and I'll get a chance to see it. But the clouds are definitely winning the day right now. Unfortunately, that one storm is playing havoc with my view currently, and I'm sure it's obscuring a view for a lot of people in the metro, especially from Charlotte west to Shelby. But I've been surprised. A lot of folks have been sending me pictures on Twitter as well. Even with their camera phone, they were able to get outside and get a quick view here and there. So it's good to see that people at least ventured out and took a glance up to get a view of it. But a lot of folks, like my son, told me he didn't want me to wake him up to view it. He says, "Dad, take a picture and some video and show me in the morning." I'm like, "All right, buddy, I won't wake you up," because he would be sadly disappointed right now. But earlier it was pretty cool.
Tell him it'll be on YouTube. He can replay it.
Yeah, he's not quite enthusiastic with the middle of the night stuff. I'm like Chris. It's like, it's got to be worth it for me to get up. And I'll be honestly, guys, there's times I get up and I'm thinking, do I want to get up and do this? And the 2 times that I'm glad I did was, one, the last lunar eclipse, which happened in the middle of the night, was a partial. I got up. It was like in November. Maybe it was last year. It was cold. I remember I got up at like 3 a.m, and it was worth it. And then a rocket launch. So one of the SpaceX launches before sunrise, I got up and saw that, and it was spectacular to see that that jellyfish cloud right before sunrise. And speaking of, if the launch schedule goes well, coming up on Friday of this week, there is going to be a pre-dawn launch of the Starlinks, and I'm hoping that doesn't get pushed, but that would be at 5 a.m. and that should give us a spectacular cloud as well around sunrise. So let's hope that pans out. But the way the Starlink missions have been going lately, I have a bad feeling it's going to be postponed again.
I know so many of us were hoping to catch it when it flew over Charlotte a couple weeks back, but they were too aggressive in their sun deflecting.
Yeah, that was a bummer. So I'm hoping this week we'll get a couple of chances. So there might be some better night viewing this week ahead, even after tonight, if tonight's a disappointment for you. But yeah, the clouds are definitely winning. I'm looking at the Dallas camera there. It just looks like it's thickened up pretty much across the board.
Yeah, that's the view at the bottom of the screen. And you could see you were worried about that fog as well, too, whether it's fog or a cloud deck. It's rolling in from this view 1,500 feet above the ground. Jared Smith has been running our radar tonight. He is the man behind the Twitter account CHSWX, Charleston's own. Can you show us, Jared? Yeah, you got clouds down there in Charleston, I believe. Is that right?
Big time. Yeah, big time. A big area of stratocumulus has just been obscuring things about 2/3 of the metro area. If you're in the Francis Marion National Forest, if you're out by maybe, say, McClellanville, Awendaw, and then getting a little further into the PD, if you're in Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, Florence, you probably get a pretty good view of this thing. unfortunately, we've been dealing with just some persistent cloud cover and even some showers beginning to develop as well around the Somerville area. So unfortunately, people are not seeing anything. I stepped out about 15 minutes ago, and I could see nothing except strato Q everywhere. So very thankful for this stream. Let me just put it that way.
I think Brad is probably going to start to move his stuff inside as we watch on the bottom Dallas cam there, Jared, the view of that thunderstorm coming into portions of Gaston County tonight. You can see the visibility disappearing. This is about 1,500 feet above the ground. We in the top left box still have tonight's lunar eclipse, and I don't want to lose track of it, but we are about a minute away from the max totality. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for here at about 12:11 a.m. Eastern time, and who else better to walk us through it than the man who is providing the shot that we are all longing over, Chris Jackson. What's this moment like right now?
Still looking good. I'm thankful not having to battle any trees or any clouds. So let's just hope it continues here for the next couple of minutes. And something for the folks that are watching, especially across the Carolinas, going for tomorrow. All these storms that are popping up tonight, that these little quick pop-up showers, they're being caused by little outflow boundaries. And going into the day tomorrow, these boundaries are still going to remain. So that could be a focusing mechanism, especially tomorrow afternoon, for storms across the northern Midlands of South Carolina, the upstate, up around the Charlotte area, and even down toward Jared and Somerville area. So just something to think of tomorrow, maybe pack a rain jacket.
Well, Chris, we appreciate your view tonight, and I think I speak for everyone who's watching on our stream tonight that we are so glad that you are here. And how can people find your Twitter account, Chris? Because you're a storm chaser.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Chris Jackson SC, like South Carolina, and that's at Chris Jackson SC. Facebook, I have a Facebook weather page. If you don't already follow me, South Carolina Weather on Facebook, pretty generic. Chris Jackson SC also on Instagram.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you being here with us. Please don't run away just yet. I'll send you a Starbucks gift card or something in the
No, you're
tomorrow.
good. Like Brad was talking about the last eclipse that was in the middle of the night that about froze that we live streamed. Yeah. That brought back memories.
Yes, we had you standing outside. It was like 34 degrees.
It was
outside.
so cold. I almost got frostbite that night. It was so cold.
You look very comfortable in your lawn chair tonight.
Yeah, I'm chilling on my back deck. We're good.
We'll show people the radar across the Carolinas, Brad. I imagine your BRB was so you could move your equipment out of the way of this impending rain.
Yeah, I'm trying to move more because I can feel the outflow. The outflow's gotten to me because it was dead calm, and now I've got like a pretty little good breeze. So that storm has definitely pushed the outflow to me right now, and I don't think it's going to be long before I have rain. The clouds have really thickened up here completely, and I think my view is done for the night, unfortunately, unless this storm moves out pretty quick. I'm still pretty dry. I would just say the outflow has gotten to me. Got me a little nervous there for a second.
I'm looking off to the side. We've got a tower cam over the uptown Charlotte area as well, too, atop the view camera. We'll pop that up on the screen because in uptown, if you're watching right now, conditions still look fairly good. But that Dallas camera in Gaston County is now being submerged in clouds. I don't think that's the proper use of the word submerged, but given that we're 1,500 feet above the ground, I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, we've definitely, the camera's been eaten up by the cloud deck there. And yeah, the wind's really picking up here, James. So we've got some kind of outflow from that thing reaching me down here in South Charlotte.
Brad, we can see that outflow on the nighttime microphysics, actually. You can see it really, really well on the satellite. Not this view that we're using, that we're showing you here, but let me see if I can't get that up here. It's a little bit, I'm unfortunately going to have to do the whole share screen thing and Zoom. But,
okay, I'm ready for it.
So let's just shift to this, and and you can see this little. You should be able to see my. There's your outflow boundary. I'll just move it back and forth a little bit, and you can see that guy emanating that little lower. When it gets to the blues and the grays, that's generally your lower clouds, and then when you get into the kind of the greenish tones into the yellow tones, it's kind of mid level, and then the red and the dark blue, that's generally very cold convection, and you can see your convective blow up, and there's your outflow boundary right there. So it's been
That's
very
awesome.
helpful. Yeah, it's been very helpful tonight. And I got to tell you, Chris is probably in one of the best places in the Carolinas right now to see this thing. Only place that might be better, it could be, you know, to the southwest in the CSRA and then into the PD as well.
Chris is realigning.
There's definitely some holes out there, especially eastern North Carolina, the Midlands, down the Grand Strand, down towards Myrtle Beach looks pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, so we'd love to, you know, if you got pictures from out there, we'd love to see them at Carolina WX Group, at WCNC, at WFMY. If you've got them, share them. We'll be happy to show them here.
Yeah, the wind's really picked up here. I probably got gusts to 15, 20 now from a dead calm. So that outflow is definitely picking it up.
I'll say the outflow clouds have reached here in the foothills. I just stepped out and clouds are moving back in here from that stuff that's moving into Cleveland and Gaston County. So as well here in the foothills, the clouds are winning out now as we really get into the heart of this. So
yeah, what's crazy is this is the thickest the cloud deck has been for me all evening. Even since sunset, I had breaks in the clouds. It was, you know, I would call it mostly to partly cloudy, but I could see clear sky. This is the first time since sunset I can't see one clear part of the sky right now. So it figures the worst part was coming in right around totality. But hey, we got the show up to this, which was worth it.
Yeah, we still got the view here from Columbia, South Carolina. Chris Jackson giving us this view. And we're glad we have this view. And that was the game plan tonight, right? We knew we were going to be battling the rain and the clouds, so as many cameras and as many different locations as possible, and that seems to have paid off. Scotty, as I hold this shot from Columbia for folks to be able to see the moon, we know Tim Buckley, chief meteorologist at WFMY, drove down his neighborhood before hoping to find it, and I think he was going to tweet it if he did. Did you see anything on Twitter to indicate whether or not Tim's expedition through Greensboro was successful?
I have not yet, but let me refresh his Twitter stream here and see if we've got anything. Nope, his last tweet was clouds stink. So that pretty much tells you what's going on there.
That'll do it.
Let me get over to our main page here, and I can share what some of our followers who are scattered throughout the Carolinas are seeing.
Sure, we'll keep live pictures on the right side from Columbia, South Carolina, and your Twitter pictures on the left. Take it away, Scotty.
Yep. This is Eric. I'm assuming he's up in the somewhere here, but in the Piedmont, as he's tagged WCNC and WFMY. You can kind of see that it's a really grainy pic, but you can kind of see the moon there, little reddish hue there. This is Nash Nasir. No location here, but kind of see that eclipse photo. This is Ed Piotrowski. I know Brad was just mentioned in the Myrtle Beach area. This is what Ed tweeted out at 11:29, so about 30-ish minutes ago.
Nice
I haven't seen
image
anything new from Ed, but that was the last pic out of
friend
that area. This is up in the Tidewater region where Ricky Matthews is at. Another beautiful picture up there from Ricky. This is out of Greer, South Carolina, the National Weather Service at GSP. One of their forecasters tweeting this out in the upstate of South Carolina. There's another picture from Ricky. This is from Pageland, South Carolina, about 27 minutes ago. You can kind of see the reddish hue from the moon in that picture. This is from Daniel Island, South Carolina. So down in Jared's neck of the woods. A few folks out in the low country being able to see a little bit of the eclipse tonight. Let's see. Let's scroll down. This is from Conley Springs in Eastern Burke County. This is you can actually see some of the clouds starting to build in from that complex of showers moving into Cleveland County. This was right before that happened, and well, that's my backyard. That's what I saw about 37 minutes ago. So you can kind of see the view was nice here in the foothills before the clouds moved in. One more last picture from Samantha. This is in Heath Springs, South Carolina.
It has been a pleasure for me really to share these masterpieces with you. For a while,
James,
we
I'll toss
also
it back to you, and be sure to tweet your pictures to Carolina WX Group. We'd love to see them, as well as WCNC, WFMY, and WX Brad. And also down in Chris Jackson's area, you can tweet him, as well as Jared down in Charleston. We'd love to see them, and we'll be monitoring the social media feed over the next few minutes and tweet out anything interesting.
We are
to see.
lucky to have
back to you.
these great astrophotographers, and I really want to thank
look at these
them
live pictures
again, because
and the beautiful
if
face
we had
of
a
Chris
chance
Jackson from Columbia,
to
South Carolina.
observe,
It is 12:20,
thanks to their eyes
so let me
and
pop on
their
screen here
images,
the animation and let
we
people know
really,
what they can
really
expect.
want to
We're
credit
now coming out
their
on the other
works,
side
and
of this. So
they are
as you
John
can see in the
Johnson, Nebraska,
animation here, our
USA,
greatest eclipse
Joachim
happened
Fabrica
at
Polleri,
12:11
Panama, Chris
a.m.
Carvin,
about
St.
9
John,
minutes ago.
Canada,
We started with that full moon
Fernando
tonight. The moon
Rodriguez,
began to
Florida,
disappear.
USA,
It began to turn
Jim
red
Thompson,
as it made its way
Ottawa
through the
Valley
Earth's shadow,
Astronomy,
and now
Canada,
we're making our way back out. So
Gary
totality
Barney,
will
Florida,
end
USA,
at
Karin
12:54,
Jaffer,
and then slowly as
Montreal,
we make our way
Canada,
another
Ron
hour and a
Delvaux,
half, 2
Arizona,
hours or
USA,
so, we'll come back out
Billongo,
on the
Ontario,
other side
Canada,
of this. Our coverage is going
James
to continue for
McHugh,
about
New
10 more
Mexico,
minutes. So as Scotty
USA,
mentioned, if you've got pictures, you can
and
send them on
as
over.
I mentioned
Here is that
earlier,
look
we
from
also
Columbia,
received
South
an
Carolina, as we
image by
continue to
Adrian
watch,
Bradley in Canada.
what will be the transition now
Some
back
of
out the other
these
side
friends had
of
the
this, which again
clouds, so they really
will again
cannot
take
send
about
images,
2
but
hours
we
or so,
really
and that
want
has
to
been both
thank
the blessing
them
and the
because they
curse,
were
I would
ready
say, of tonight's
to
event is that it is
grab
slow
images
moving.
and
So
share with us
some of you may be
what
getting
they
a
were
glimpse
saying.
of it in between
That's
the
all,
cloud
my
cover.
friends.
We're
I
gonna
hope
add in,
that
Jared
despite
Smith here
the clouds
onto
in
our
Rome,
screen. He is
despite
Keyed himself over the green screen over the
our
satellite
location
radar
on
because
the
I know he's
field
watching this
with
thunderstorm that's
without
rolling
the
right
usual
into the Charlotte metro area right
technological
now, Jared.
facilities we have at our office.
I just pulled a
hope
Scotty
that
there,
this
so
that's 4
live feed
we're all
brought
getting a
to you
Scotty
the
here,
experience of
but
such
yeah, we
a
have
unique
a
natural
pretty
event.
decent
I hope
thunderstorm
that this will
for this time of
not
night.
this actually
South
I
of
mean,
roughly south of
invite
Gastonia,
you,
moving into the Charlotte
will push
metro.
you to
And again, we're going to
discover
see a
much
thickening
better
of the
what is
cloud
happening
cover here
every night up there.
continue
Because,
to
yes,
build
the
in
eclipse is
across
something
this
very
area
special,
as some of
but
that
I really
anvil
believe
blow
that
off
looking up is
begins
always
to move
rewarding
in,
because
and
every night
that's
is a
just
special
gonna
night.
that's just gonna
That's it, my
complicate
friends.
things
It is,
in this area.
that's all
So
from
as Brad
Rome,
was saying
and
earlier,
Gianluca Masi and
Charlotte
Alessio
Metro, you've
Sabatino are
probably
just
seen the best of it at this
sending
point.
you their best
It's very
greeting
likely that you
wishes
have,
from Villa
but, you know,
Borghese in Rome,
James
from
Bayou and
Pincio
Matthews down in
balcony, one of the
Monroe,
most
you may be seeing some
famous,
breaks in the clouds there, and I think this is going to
here in
pass.
Rome. Thank you
Some of this
for
could pass to your
being so
north,
numerous with us. Really, we were
but
impressed to
again,
see thousands of people
it's just going to be, you know, tough
even in
going
this
here,
very
really
moment,
tough going
and I want to
anywhere.
thank our
You
collaborators
know, in this
for,
I-85 corridor up
sharing
into
their
Greensboro,
masterpieces, their
Raleigh. You're
really
looking
skills and
okay.
experience with
Rocky
us
Mount,
with
Greenville,
such wonderful generosity.
looking
And,
okay.
beside the astronomical
Got a few
facts,
clouds
I want to underline
moving across
that
as
these
your little
events
outflow boundary
organized by
into
the Virtual
Asheville
Telescope
there.
Project
Looking
are
further
brought to the
south,
world such a,
again, Greenville
such a
beginning to
very
come out and
bright
going to be able
example
to see
of cooperation between people
a
from
little of
different
this. And
countries.
again,
Just
Chris has been
under the flag of such a
consistently
generosity
in one of the
are
better
really,
spots
really willing to,
around Columbia.
to
There
bring
are a
to
few
everyone
showers
what they love, that
near
is the nice
Greenwood
sky
and Newberry,
and
but
what is
again,
happening
these are
there.
not really
That's all,
producing
my
a lot of
friends.
blow off
Gianluca Masi,
here.
Alessio
Further
Sabatini,
south into the
Virtual
Charleston
Telescope
metro area,
Project.
we've gotten some pictures in from James Island. You can apparently see it very well on James Island right now. John's Island, you're probably going to have a good shot at seeing it for about 10 or 15 minutes or so. We have patches of clouds and even some showers developing and moving northeastward. So we're watching that closely. Where you're probably going to get your best views around Awendaw, McClellanville, Bulls Bay, into the Francis Marion National Forest. So if you happen to be streaming us in the Francis Marion National Forest, that's great. Further to the northeast, to places like Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, Florence, Marion, probably getting a pretty good view of the show based on the satellite imagery and what that is telling us right now. And you should have a good view of this probably to the end of the event. So again, hit or miss, feast or famine, however you want to put it. But certainly Charlotte area, you definitely want to be packing in the equipment at this point.
Brad Panovich, I see you're still connected. Obviously, I should tell folks that this thunderstorm we're watching, it's not severe. That's not the reason we're watching it. It's just because it's getting in the way of the show.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Jared there. I'm kind of looking at the sky and it's not getting better. I did amazingly though. I just got a picture tweeted at me from Tiga K around 12:10. They had a little break and you could actually see a break in the clouds. And so someone sent me a picture that was pretty good. So goes to show you that even in the midst of the storm, you can catch a quick glimpse of it. I'm looking up though. There is a little break developing near me, so I'm gonna hope maybe I get one more look at this. And as I look, I think that was another lightning strike there
Yes,
on the Dallas camera. I have to look at my lightning detector. I've seen a couple flashes off in the distance. The good news is the rain isn't heading towards me, but the clouds have kind of messed up everything. I'm gonna look at my lightning detector here. See, yeah, I just had another strike 19 seconds ago. I've had 4 strikes, but they're all around 19 to 20 miles away. So not too bad, but enough that I can see the flashes off in the distance. So I'm going to hold out hope here. I see a little break coming. And if this break doesn't give me a view of it, I think I'm probably going to be done for the night, because the best views were earlier when we had the clear skies. But unfortunately, this is the way it is with any astronomy event. It's either always going to be cloudy or it's going to happen at some weird time of the night. This one, was earlier in the evening and we had some breaks, but I'll take what we got. It wasn't too bad. I mean, Chris has been really lucky. He's living right there in Columbia.
I'm living on the edge right now. Me and Jared is having a little sidebar conversation about the radar here. If you look up on the radar right now, there's one storm that's developing along Highway 23 and Highway 1 on the west side of Batesburg along the Lexington-Saluda County line. But if you look up at correlation coefficient, which is a product on radar where you can see the different density of the hydrometers, what may be suspended aloft. It's great for finding debris and tornadoes and stuff. But if you look up just above the west side of Lexington, coming right at my house, there's a really nice boundary. I see Jared's got it up on the screen there. And so that's kind of caught my attention. I'm like, oh, man, I've gotten so lucky. Can I just let it continue?
I got a break heading my way. I'm hoping this gives me a quick glimpse so I can get one more picture of it before the night's over.
Brad, we know some of our platforms may be leaving us at 12:30 here in the next 4 minutes. So we have been streaming tonight on WCNC Charlotte's Weather IQ YouTube channel. For anybody who is new to that channel, what is it?
Really, it's an amazing channel. You need to subscribe because it was funny. Just today, I ran into a guy who had watched our weather school and our Weather IQ segments about learning about the weather with his kids during the pandemic. And that's the kind of way this channel is. It's a lot of cool explainers about certain things that in the meteorological, realm, whether you want to know what a shelf cloud is, the difference between watching a warning. We do some astronomy, we do some climate change. It is a really cool page. And I think it's a great resource for anybody who's got a fascination with weather science, because these explainers give you short little videos to kind of teach you a little bit about the atmosphere around you. And then nights like tonight, you get cool stuff like this, some astronomy thrown in, which is a great page. So if you get a chance, give us a subscription. We'd love to get you to kind of hook us up on that page, because it is a great place. And it's also where I exclusively do my vlogs. Anytime we have severe weather, that's going to be the place that you're going to see me talking about storms ahead of time. So it's a great place to go there for severe weather coverage.
All right, you can check that one out on YouTube. We also have folks who are watching on the WFMY YouTube channel, so you can check out Tim Buckley and the team, and of course, Carolina Weather Group on YouTube as well, which is a weekly Wednesday web show podcast, if you will, talking weather, science, technology, and more from the Carolinas and beyond, as we've seen with tonight's audience. We're going to stick with you guys for about another 2 minutes or so, but we know some of our platforms will be leaving us. So let me show you before we go what the timing of this is going to look like. As we came on through beginning at 10:30, when we started our coverage, we've passed the greatest eclipse at 12:11 a.m. Totality will end at 12:54, a little under half an hour from now, with the moon slowly reemerging into the sky by the time we get to a little after 2 a.m. Eastern time. Brad Panovich, any closing thoughts?
No, other than I hope everyone got a chance to see it tonight. And if you didn't, I hope the stream provided something for you. One thing that will be on the lookout, all the astronomy buffs out there, we've got a couple of rocket launches this week, which will be worth keeping an eye on. The one I want you to keep an eye on is maybe Friday morning.